because the knee-jerk reaction is to think about race groups and employment equity targets. And it's more than just that. It's more than just employment equity targets. I think inclusion, diversity is really around how do we embrace different people? There are different skills, there are different experiences, there are different backgrounds. How do we embrace the whole person into an organization? And so diversity and inclusion is then closely linked to the experience we give to each and every employee in our organization. We did a program last year with just our leaders on diversity and inclusion awareness. And I think awareness is very important. Just to start off with building awareness around what is diversity and inclusion. It's not just about race groups. It's really more than that. And how do we ensure that we are open to different kinds of thinking, different kinds of skills? How do we leverage from what our people bring in the organization? And when we can learn that, when we can learn to include different minds, different thinking into the workplace, into work projects, I can tell you that we can go a long way. Because if people feel included, if people really know that their voices are heard, not because they are just participating just because, but they fully know that they're included, their diverse opinion matters, that on its own contributes significantly to the employee experience. So if we have organizations or workplaces where people don't feel safe, where people don't belong, where people don't feel that they can challenge and be heard, then we have a long way to go and work to do in our organization, because that speaks to diversity and inclusion. Because, look, we can call it whatever we want to, but at the core of that is belongingness.
Absolutely.
So if people feel they belong, then it means that we are a diverse workplace. We're an inclusive workplace. And therefore people can thrive. People can flourish, and I believe that can influence performance as well.
And it impacts the bottom line. I mean, if you are looking at your customer base and your employee base doesn't match your customer base, you cannot innovate and come up with, products that will solve the needs of your customer, because you fundamentally do not understand who your customer is, their lived experience, or where they're going and the problems that they sit with. So it makes business sense as well, because DI work is like but everyone's like, where's the ROI? And I'm like, see your customer, see your employees. This is where you make your money.
And DI work, I think, is work that is still maturing in South Africa. And I've attended conferences. We've run programs internally. I think it's a fundamental for those who are doing EX work to build the DI work into that work, because it's work, it's conversations that we need to have, and it's principles that we need to embed in our processes and ultimately in our people engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. It can't sit separately, and I mean, really, it's storytelling, it's sharing everybody's experiences. It's really fundamentally understanding our people and where we are. So yeah, it is still, I think, hitting maturity, but I do also think it's something that everybody's got to take personal responsibility with. Is the same as employee experience. Is you can't outsource DEI work. Everybody has to be, you can't just outsource it to the committee or to the people function. Everybody has to be committed to doing the work on themselves and looking at their own biases and unpacking their suitcases and seeing where that lies, So yeah, I think it's definitely that. But I'm also again seeing such a positive change in this space where I see a lot more people willing to do the work, which I think is good. I don't know if you're seeing the same.
Great, yeah. I think there's an upward trend. There's a the trajectory is onwards, it's upwards. So I don't ever believe we're regressing. I think there's more openness to talk, at least in the context I'm in. There's more openness to talk. There's more willingness to involve different groupings to start having conversations about DI. Um, I, I believe, I think what Simon Sinek always teaches that everything, no, it's not Simon Sinek. I think I'm quoting the wrong person. Everything rises and falls with leaders.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who it is. And I've lost it. I've lost it, Sally. But okay, never mind. Everything rises and falls with leaders. Every leader in South Africa, whether in corporate business, whether in public government, wherever we lead, we need to embrace DI. We need to embrace that because it's not going anywhere. The sooner we realize that this work is leader-led, and if the South African leaders are willing to change, if the South African leaders are willing to look at self in the mirror, to look at our own biases, at Lynn's biases, and Lynn looks at those biases and says, I'm here, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to lead that change, we will go far as a nation.